There are moments in love where silence speaks louder than begging, where not reacting becomes the reaction. And a man's strength isn't measured by how loudly he pleads, but by how gracefully he lets go. If you want her respect, stop trying to be understood. Here are 3 things a man should never say in love if he wants to keep his power and his peace. Part 1. Please don't leave me, when fear replaces presence. The words, please don't leave me, don't come from love. They come from fear, from the hollow ache of losing control. And when a man speaks from fear, he's already lost what he's trying to save. Julian was never a weak man, but love made him fragile. Not because the woman was cruel, but because he tied his sense of self to her presence. The moment she said, "I need space," he collapsed. He texted, he called, he begged, "Please, don't leave me." And with every message, her image of him dimmed. Desperation doesn't make you more lovable. It makes you forgettable, replaceable. Because neediness doesn't awaken affection, it smothers it. The Stoics taught us, he who is not a slave to fear is already free. Epictetus. And what is that fear, really? It's not about her walking away, it's about facing yourself in the silence she leaves behind. But solitude isn't punishment, it's purification. So let her leave. Let her go. If she truly belonged, your silence would call her back more powerfully than any plea ever could. Part 2. I'll change for you. When love becomes self-abandonment, love, when pure, transforms. But it should never demand that you betray yourself to keep it alive. Saying, "I'll change for you," sounds noble, but it's often the beginning of slow erosion of your voice, your values, your essence. Ryan was steady, purpose-driven. But when he met Alina, something shifted. She didn't like his routines, his quiet nights, his passion for solitude. "Why don't you go out more? Why are you so emotionally still?" To keep her, he adjusted. He smiled more than he felt, laughed at jokes that didn't land, became someone she could accept but he no longer recognized. And in the end, she still left. Not because he wasn't good enough, but because even he stopped believing he was. But ask yourself, if she only loves the edited version of you, does she really love you? The moment you say, "I'll change for you," you stop being the author and become just a character in someone else's script. The Stoics reminded us, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Epictetus. So change when you must. Evolve because you feel called to. But never distort your soul just to be more likable. If someone only loves the mask, they were never meant to know the man behind it. Part 3. Why don't you love me the way I love you? The tragedy of emotional imbalance. There's a sacred kind of silence a man learns when love becomes uneven. He doesn't argue for fairness. He simply watches and accepts. Daniel gave her everything. He texted good mornings. He listened deeply. He showed up. But her touch grew colder, her eyes more distant. And one night, he broke. "Why don't you love me the way I love you?" She looked down, then away. Not because she felt nothing, but because she felt guilty that he felt everything. That's what happens when you pour yourself into someone who no longer reflects it. You don't receive closeness. You receive pity. A grounded man doesn't beg for love. He doesn't demand to be met halfway. He observes, and when he sees the scales tip, he moves in silence. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, you always own the option of having no opinion. You don't need her to mirror your love. You need to love in a way that never costs your dignity, even when it's not returned. So don't ask her why. Don't beg her to feel more. Just notice and step back with the quiet confidence that someone else won't have to be convinced to choose you. Never speak what weakens your presence. Never explain your worth to someone already questioning it. And never give away your power just to feel less alone. Because in the end, silence, when rooted in self-respect, becomes a man's loudest truth. If these words reached you, don't rush to react. Sit with them. Let them echo. And if something here felt like the truth you didn't know you needed, then subscribe to Petals of Stoicism. This isn't just a channel. It's a home for men done performing and ready to return to who they were before the world told them to be someone else. We speak softly here, but the impact runs deep.